States has imposed new restrictions on products from China's Xinjiang province. Cotton products which are produced using slave labor at the Uyghur camps will no longer be imported into the United States. The world has known for quite some time now that China runs internment camps in Xinjiang, with close to 1 million Uyghur Muslims reportedly persecuted there. Forced labor is common at these camps. Xinjiang is a global hub of cotton trade. 20% of garments imported into the US containing yarn from Xinjiang. But many of these products are fruits of slave labor. The new law allows customs officials to detain shipments from the Xinjiang Production and Construction Corps, a state-owned paramilitary group. XPCC, the Xinjiang Production and Construction Corps, has already been sanctioned by the United States. In 2015, this group produced nearly 30% of all cotton in China. Many American garment makers source cotton from Xinjiang, and this ban will force them to look elsewhere for raw material. Senior officials at the Department of Homeland Security say they would not allow U.S. businesses to be manipulated by the Chinese Communist Party. The issue of slave labor in Xinjiang was raised by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in September. The House voted unanimously to ban all imports from Xinjiang, but the bill has not been approved by the U.S. Senate. India has called out United Nations selectivity on missing out on Indic religions when passing resolutions. First Secretary of Indian Permanent Mission at the United Nations, Ashish Sharma, spoke at the UNGA on culture of peace and urged the United Nations to not take sides in religious attacks. He said that every major world religion has a home in India, which makes it a civilization in itself. UN and the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations should not take sides when it comes to religion, urging that attacks against Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism should also be condemned.
UN resolutions on such important issues speak only of these three Abrahamic religions together. This august body fails to acknowledge the rise of hatred and violence against Buddhism, Hinduism, and Sikhism also. The shattering of the iconic Bamiyan Buddha by fundamentalists, the terrorist bombing of the Sikh Gurdwaras in Afghanistan, where 25 Sikh worshippers were killed, and the destruction of Hindu and Buddhist temples and minority cleansing of these religions by countries calls for condemning such acts against these religions also. But the current member states refuse to speak of these religions in the same breath as the first three Abrahamic religions.
Various UN resolutions have focused only on Abrahamic religions such as Christianity, Islam or Judaism, with a focus on anti-Semitism, Islamophobia and anti-Christian acts. There has been no mention of the persecution of followers of Indic religions like Hinduism, Buddhism and Sikhism. Violence against other religious minorities gets a little more than a slap on the wrist. Several other countries also feel what India has urged, but they don't have the numbers to oppose this at the United Nations. First Secretary Ashish Sharma has urged that attacks against Hinduism, Buddhism and Sikhism also should be added to the earlier list of three Abrahamic religions to truly foster a culture of peace.
Why is this selectivity? Overall, Hinduism has more than 1.2 billion, Buddhism has more than 535 million, and Sikhism around 30 million followers. It is time that attacks against these religions are also added to earlier list of the three Abrahamic religions when such resolutions are passed. Culture of peace cannot be only for Abrahamic religions, and as long as such selectivity exists, the world can never truly foster a culture of peace.